etc., and aggregate reporting. So this is what you require. Next is the medical and pharmacology refresher you require. So common adverse events of major drug classes, then system organ classes and based toxicity. So organ-based toxicity is related to, let's say, anti-cancer, etc. So all this basic pharmacology knowledge is required, and then industry awareness with respect to the latest developments in PV industry and outsourcing models, which I've already covered before. That's optional, but you need to have these PVPI activities, updates, and of course, artificial intelligence use in PV. All these you should know. Then, when you're preparing yourself for PV interviews, there are 3 rounds, 2 or 3 rounds. 3 rounds are divided into technical round, aptitude or attention to detail, which is a soft skill, that test, and then HR round. So these questions which are there with respect to those rounds are not only limited to those rounds. For instance, if there are questions related to HR rounds, they can be asked as well in the technical round. So who is taking this? Your immediate manager takes it. The project manager takes the interview, immediate manager, project manager. And sometimes if you're giving an interview for the CRO, it is also taken by the client related. Some person in the recruiting position in the client will also be taking it, because there are certain eligibilities and expectations that the client wants to wants to see in the candidate. So all these are there. Then prepare a short introduction of yourself. That is a very primary thing. And what is the experience? General experience is that if your first 5 minutes of the interview are really well, the entire interview goes well. You are self-confident. Otherwise, everyone is nervous during the interview. So first few minutes are very crucial of the interview, and then you prepare the introductory part of yourself, because everywhere you will ask to be introduced for giving an introduction of yourself. Then you prepare short notes related to essays, causalities, timelines, or whatever important in PV concepts are there, so that you can revise them at the last minute. Then you can prepare practice narrative writing skills, how they are 3 5 lines of summarization. There are always scenario-based questions which are asked. If it's a case processing interview, you will be asked related to the, let's say, if you receive SAE on day 14, but missing seriousness criteria, what will you do? Or just calculate the exposure data for the PSURs, etc. So such questions they throw. Even they will ask you a certain scenario-based question, and they will say, okay, this was the adverse event for the physicians, I'm saying, what can be a possible management, or what can be the possible prevention of these adverse events? That also they will ask. Then they will ask whether it's an adverse event or it's a I mean, what is the cause of this adverse events? Is it a known mechanism of a drug, or it is something new which is not already established? So certain also scenario-based questions they can ask you. Then is the aptitude or attention to detail test. This is a mock case report that they give you. They can tell you to extract the adverse events, suspect drugs, concomitant drugs, and seriousness. Seriousness criteria everyone should be aware of. Then outcome and even causality, if required, you can populate the causality. And certain clients also, they require MCQ pattern examination. So they give you MCQ related to the technical questions and scenario-based questions, mixed questions, and they expect you to solve them. So that's that's a type of questions which are asked. Then after this, there is an HR related round. So as I said, it is not only strictly based to the HR, but yes. Then the common question is that they will ask you why PV and why not the other fields. For instance, why not clinical trials or why not medical affairs? Then you need to have the answer related to that you are keen in knowing or in involving yourself in patient safety, and you are excited in this kind of a job role. So you have to have that answer with you. Next, very common question asked is where you see yourself in next 6 months, next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. What are your short-term and long-term goals? It's a very common question. So prepare that. So for that, you need to know what is the ladder in PV and what PV can offer you. and how you see yourself growing, whether you want to grow in this field or shift in the operation part or managerial part, etc. You can answer accordingly. Next is the strength and the weaknesses. So this is also asked, what are your, elaborate on your strengths and elaborate on your weaknesses. Now, when you are elaborating on your strengths, don't be a very overconfident about it. Just you can elaborate on few of your genuine strengths. And while elaborating weaknesses, don't be very underconfident about it. Just confidently, you can say certain subtle weaknesses. For instance, that you are very keen in working, and hence sometimes you give work so much priority that you do not have a very good balance between work and your personal life. So you're trying to improve on that front, or something like that. Something very subtle you can say with respect to your weaknesses. So then, are you willing to work in rotational shifts? So rotational shifts jobs are generally in the BPOs. So of course the answer is yes, because they have this 24 hours of monitoring. Generally in CROs, general shifts is there around 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., but it can differ company to company, definitely. So understanding the job role, understanding the expectations is very important. Let's go to the next slide. Certain do's and don'ts in the interview. Now, it's very important. I have divided this before the interview, during the interview, at the end of the interview, and after the interview. Before the interview, first is very important, research the company and go. You should know company from the news, from the company portal. You should visit the company portal before. See what are the updates that the company is doing with respect to the product launches, with respect to the regulatory, or with respect to the artificial intelligence, and get all that information, gather all that information. Then, of course, revising PV basics and regulations, etc. Preparing yourself for the scenario-based answers, like I just shared few scenarios with you. And attire should be a formal attire. Always log in or arrive early. If it's online, log in early. If you're giving a in-person interview, appear there before time. That's very crucial because it determines the seriousness of you to pursue that particular post or job. Then during the interview, be clear and structured in the answers. If you do not know a particular answer, don't just generalize or be vague. You can always say that as of now, I am limited and I will read it more further, and I will enhance my knowledge on that front. Something like that you can certainly say. Never say upfrontly no, but subtle answers are always encouraged. Then show regulatory awareness. If you're asked about, say, SUSAs, or if you're asked about expedited reports, to let them know that you know the timeline. Only if you know the timeline properly. If you are not aware of the timeline, again, don't give incorrect answers. Rather than that, you can certainly say whatever you know and stop there. Then highlight relevant skills. For instance, if you are going for the interview related to the case processing role. Now, what are the skills for the case processing role? One is attention to details. So it requires a lot of details to capture that much of information. Second is the time management, because these cases are bulk cases, they come to you. Third is the stress management. So all these things are your skill portfolios. Mention those skills, highlight them. Then also demonstrate your soft skills, like like if you have presented somewhere in a certain forum, you highlight that. That will ensure that you have good skills with respect to communication, research, etc. Soft skills are very important, especially in the roles which are client facing roles. So they are very important in both vendor facing also, client facing also. So it's very important to know what soft skills, the communication skills you have, or other skills that you demonstrate with respect to the time management, with respect to the stress management, how are you communicating with the peers, etc. And at the end of the interview, they will always ask you, if you have any question, please let us know. So don't talk about salary anywhere in your technical round. That you can discuss later on with the HR. So you can just ask a subtle question, or if you want to ask, you can ask a very subtle question stating that what are the expectations for this particular job role from me, what do you expect? I have also read the job description and I have discussed with you. Still, I would like to know if there is any additional expectations or additional quality that for this role. Something subtly you can say. Then let's come after the interview. Now, after the interview, please send a thank you email to HR or message to HR. Okay, one thing that is a good gesture to do. Second is you can also, if for instance you got somewhere very good opportunity and the primary HR is calling you, don't ghost the HR. You can tell her, you can talk to her properly, tell her properly that as of now I am not seeking this opportunity because let's say for instance work from home is there, so you can tell some reason like for travel reasons or whatever your preferences are, which is suitable for your preferences as of now. But however, in future I am definitely keen and open to work for the company with you, something like that. So the closure should be very good. Let's go to the next don'ts in the PV interview. First is like, do not come unprepared and do not assume that PV is only case processing. So if it is PV, they will ask you everything. They can ask you about signal, they can ask you about processes, about tools, about AI, anything they can ask you. They can simply talk about your own activities that you've done during your tenure of academic tenure. So discussion can go anywhere. So it is not limited to case processing. Keep that in mind. However, you should know the details of the case processing. Then never ignore job description. If HR is sending you a proper job description, go line by line, word by word. Understand what is the post about. If you do not understand certain parameter, you can again go and talk to your HR, or you can talk to your senior peers about it. And if you have access to the person who is working for that particular role, who's a colleague of yours, then you can definitely ask the colleague what the role is about and have more on-job insights about that role, which is very crucial to have. And next is tailor preparation for the role. So always, if you are going for a case processor role, the preparation should be different. If you're going for a signal detection associate role, more you have to be much detailed about the signal processes you need to know, etc. Then during the interview, as I already shared about the content and knowledge, never give vague answers. If you're asked what is adverse event, don't say that adverse event is just a side effect. Quote proper definitions like adverse event is any untoward medical occurrence in a patient administered who's administered a pharmaceutical product, not necessarily causality related. Some a proper definition or a proper meaning should be there. Then, as I told you, if you have a better hold of regulatory timelines and if you recall that time, then only talk about it. Otherwise, just avoid talking on the regulatory timelines. Then don't use general statements. Just be very specific. For instance, if they ask you about Argus, if you are aware, what you are aware, if you're aware about that Argus is used for case processing, you can say whatever you are aware with respect to the PV processes. If you're not aware, just say that I'm not aware, or as of now, I am not having or fully confident about it, or do not have the details of. I will read. I would like to read, check, and come back. Something I would like to check and update myself, something like that. Then never interrupt the interviewer. Let the interviewer complete the sentence and then only you should start your sentence, whatever you want to. If there are two, three people, always keep eye contact with two, three people. If you are face to face in an interview and there are three people interviewing you, always keep rotational eye contacts with all of them. It shows the body language shows confidence in the interview process. Next is if you are giving interview online, look at the camera. Try to look at the camera maximum number of times. Sometimes we look here and there, but do try to look at the camera. Do maintain that eye contact. That gives a lot of confidence. And sit with a spinal posture erect. That is very important. And be humble. Be polite in your interviews. Then after the interviews, I already told you about all these factors. So that is there. Next is this is a PDF which I have attached of the frequently asked PV questions. I think this would be very helpful. However, it consists of the basic understanding of the PV. This is just a part of it. The PV is very vast and there's a lot much to it. You can definitely explore much with respect to the website, and I will just show you the courses and everything ahead. Now coming to the courses about PV. So yeah, these are the courses and certifications. Now, a disclaimer, I'm not promoting any courses. These are just courses which are available for PV with respect to, I have divided them with respect to the duration, cost, and whatever their detailings are. But for the exact cost and for the exact detailing, you have to visit the course and you have to visit the site and contact the provider of the course. Now, there are courses from WHO UMC which are self-paced and they are free of cost. So cost-effective courses, free of cost courses are very good for knowledge gaining as well as they uplift your CV. So both they do. So that's the reason why you should definitely go ahead with these courses. Then is the Drug Information Association, which is also called as DIA courses. I am sure that these courses will be a little costlier because DIA itself is a little expensive. Then there are also virtual training courses. There is one course of AI which is upcoming course 9 to 11th of September. And in November, there's a course on PV audits. So it's an advanced level course, but if you want to have that knowledge, you can definitely enroll for these courses. Next is again, this is a list. I will share this PPT with Sir later on so that everyone of you will understand whatever the courses are there and the details about it. And if you are interested in pursuing any of them, you can go yourself and check. Then there are Udemy courses which are very good because they are cost-effective courses. So you can check those courses. Then again, Biotechnica advanced courses there, which is also a reasonable price. Then few other courses like Technobridge, etc. I am not going into details of these courses. These are self-understood. So again, these courses are there with respect to Clean Infotech and IGMPI, BCRI, etc. So the concept of what courses are there is very important. So first, take the courses which has a basic knowledge gaining course, which is a free and low cost effective course. Once you have a basic good knowledge about PV processes, because just having knowledge is also not sufficient. You need to have certain thing in your CV so that it gets a little uplifted. That's the reason why the courses are important. One of the factor that why they are important. So have these complete these free of cost courses. Once you complete these courses, if you wish to upscale in a PV, especially for physicians, I'm talking here, then you can take a PV course which has certain amount of hands-on experience or mock interview experience. Because just taking a PV course of a higher cost and having the same knowledge which you can gain it other freely or it's not good suggestion. So best is that if the PV course is having, what is it having? Basic knowledge plus certain hands-on experience or mock interview or certain even academies do support for placements also. So if they're genuine, such genuine academies, you can definitely involve if you're looking for certain kind of further upscaling yourself. And of course, courses related to artificial intelligence, PVR, you should do one course at least to understand what is artificial intelligence and how the process related to artificial intelligence is. This I've just grouped them into free, low cost, short term, and with respect to the duration, short term programs, long term programs. For your perusal, you can check these. Then PV internships. Now the IPC has come up with the 33rd Skill Development Program. This is, I know this, the date is already gone, but just to update you with that, look for certain internships next year and upcoming years. If you are interested, you can take these are good internships. Then there is Clean Infotech PV internship. It offers a good hands-on experience on the case processing, Argus, Medra coding, narratives, etc. Then there is IQVIA India internships. It's a 6 to 12 months of internship. This you will get to know with their IQVIA website. You can go and you can check for these. Then Global Pharmacovigilance School Mohali. This has a 3-month online internship, which is you just have to fill the application form of 1,500. And if you're selected for the internship, they will give 15 model. They will cover in 3 months. This is what their site talks about, and they will also help you understanding the industry aspects of pharmacovigilance. Then this was a post from Novartis few months back that they were looking for PSPV intern. If you are getting a hands-on opportunity for a big company like Novartis, you should go forward with it. Then this is a long-term program. So AstraZeneca has come up with a patient safety program. However, this program is not yet rolled, but it's just a 2-year program in updating safety information, regulatory, etc. So industry related such programs are very helpful because they give you a true picture of what is done in industry. And there is another Parexel-led program also with respect to Chitkara University. It's MSc in Clinical Research and PV. You can check Chitkara site for that as well. Then CMEs, workshops and conferences, they are very good for networking and skill development as well. So these are certain conferences which are PV oriented. There is Society of Pharmacovigilance, then International Society of Pharmacovigilance, then annual Indian Society for Clinical Research. Indian Society for Clinical Researchers, they have their own webinars. The free webinars are there with respect to signal detection, assessment, etc. So do check for these webinars. They are either they come on the ICSR site or on LinkedIn also. I've seen few updates on LinkedIn as well. Then DI India annual meet is there. Now it's there in the month of September, 19 to 20th September, where there is a PV track also in there. There's a medical affairs track as well. But DI is little advanced. I have seen that these conferences related to DI is pretty advanced. So once you are in job and you do the conference, you will have more better understanding rather than being a fresher and doing it. But it's your call. If you are keen, interested, go ahead with it. I think there is a good student concession for it also. Then Pharmacovigilance Program of India, they have conducted the outreach and awareness workshops and training sessions across all the centers. So you can look for training sessions with PVPI as well. Then insights of job search. Now, how your CV should be. That is very important. First is that you should have tailor-made CVs with respect to roles. If you have a role of drug safety physician in PV, you should have a different tailor-made CV. If it's for clinical research roles, different CV, regulatory different. For medicos, for MD physicians, you should have different for PV, different for medical affairs, etc. Because it's very vital because you're highlighting those skills, and it's very vital to have these 2, 3 type of CVs for that particular roles. If you are not sure that you want to pursue this and you're open for other options, you need to forward that CV which is with respect to that particular role. And in that CV, you can highlight whatever the pointers are relevant to that role. Then you can also use certain sites. I don't know whether these sites are free or not. There are good templates, free templates also. You can, with help of those templates, you can populate your CV and check these sites. If they are free, then only it's good to use. Otherwise, I don't think relevance to use. There are good templates also which are free of cost. Next is the job portal and career sites. Now there are certain job sites. Make your profile on all of them. I think they are free only, all of them, for making the job, and upload your CV on there. So you'll get the calls from the HR. You generally get. That is one of the job search method that you can adopt. Next is that there are specialized life science or pharma job sites. You can check there also. And third one is the company career pages also. You can check there. With respect to individual, you have to check separately for the individual page and what all opportunities the company is serving currently or looking for. And LinkedIn is a very good networking site. It's a very genuine site. I've also come across Naukri and Indeed also are good sites, genuine people call you. And do remember one thing, if any job opportunity is coming to you and if has a monetary element into it, means that if any HR or if any so-called HR is calling you or so-called third person is calling you and stating that give me so and so amount and I will give you the job, it's not true. Any HR would never ask for any monetary gain into it. Company has their strict policies for no monetary involvement into the process of recruitment. So be vigilant and be aware of all these scams online. Then summary is to start early with the certifications or internships and master Argus or Eris Global or Medra coding. This is an on-job thing, but you can also, I think Eris Global do have certain webinars to understand their softwares. So just look for them. And also if there are certain certifications which are giving you the hands-on training on any of them or similar softwares, do look for them. Then definitely strong academic base and upskilling in PV tools and processes, good communication, documentation. See, if you have time with you, you can also publish something, because publish something, you'll be visible. Certain later on, it will be very important for the skill development, that you have good writing skills, or you're presenting somewhere, you have good presentation skills. So all these soft skills, it would be very easy for uplifting your CV. So it's good to do that. Then actively keep track on job openings. Be very proactive on that. Networking is very crucial. Try to talk to more people with respect to your peers, your seniors. Even if any job has come to you, any post has come to you, check whoever is working into that company. How is the experience? What is it? How the person is feeling with respect to the work-life balance, etc. All the practical aspects of it. Then also be visible. That's very important. Do something, present some, like I said, present a particular research of yours, or publish a research of yours. Then talk about, there are a lot of groups and there's a lot of social media, so you can even post something related or write something related, like blog post or something. So be visible. That's very important. And to succeed in your mission, you must have a single-minded devotion to your goal. It's by APJ Abdul Kalam, and it's very true. So thank you for your patient listening. Dr. Melvin, I do have certain slides on the aggregate reporting as well, which is not a direct topic related to this, but I have just seen the flooded questions related to aggregate reporting in RMP, and that's the reason why I have made certain 5 slides on it. But if you want to take up the questions right now, we can take up the questions, and if we have time and with your permission, I can present them, or else they are there for the reading part.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Vidisha. Once again, I think today's session must have been very, very practical for many of the students who will be looking forward to facing interviews, job interviews, and even upskilling themselves for different pharmacovigilance courses. And you have really given them a bird's eye view of all what can possibly be done to prepare themselves to enter the PV industry. So it was really a wonderful presentation, and thank you so much, Dr. Vidisha, for that. So I think we'll be having few questions from the audience, I believe, but maybe I'll set the ball rolling once again. So what do you say about having experience in clinical research or any other domain? Let's say, for example, someone who has some understanding of, who's already worked in some other domain in the pharma industry, but not necessarily PV. Are there options for people to switch later? How are they viewed? Are they viewed like a fresher, or that work experience of clinical research or med affairs or even medical writing? Is it viewed positively? Could you throw some light on that?
So thank you, sir, for the question. So the thing is, different domains have different job roles. So definitely the experience of one domain, if you are shifting the domain altogether, the technical experience related to domain will not carry forward. However, the soft skill experience and whatever you've done will definitely help you in, suppose if you've learned few processes, it will definitely help you in understanding. Maybe you are a quick learner, quick understanding you will have with respect to the processes. But as far the experience is concerned, let's say if there is a job role related to medical affairs and it states that 5 years of experience, it means that 5 years of experience in medical affairs, so that you understand it more. It's not that PV, if the person is having 5 years experience in PV, cannot apply for that role. There can be some extraordinary circumstances wherein they can take, but definitely you will not have that experience which a person interviewing along with you having a medical affairs experience. So that's again with the clinical research and other fields. Scientific writing is again a different domain. So if a scientific writer is coming to a medical writing interview, then those, because scientific protocol writing is different than what you write for the PSURs, etc. So that technical part will not, because what they ask you for the medical writing interview is that how many SCRs or SCRs you've authored, how many PSUs you've authored. whether you authored fully, whether you authored partially, you won't be able to answer those practical questions. You can just say that, okay, I'm interested and keen in learning, you'll get a base level job out there. If you are very extraordinary in your interview, maybe a little step one ahead of that, but not a very much ahead of that. Definitely not. So it's a fresher or plus one, maybe you can get moreover a fresher. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And suppose if I'm a person who's entering I just finished my degree and
Mhm.
I'm a little confused. And PV does seem interesting, but I'm not sure if I'll fit uh, this PV space. So, what would you say as something as a what kind of a person will fit into PV?
It is not about the personality. Okay, about the personality, something I can say. Um, Medical affairs is the onstage artist, and PV the backstage artist. That's the difference. So you have to be very extraordinary in your presentation skills, or even ordinary, but having the liking about all going out, talking. A lot of CMEs are there. Everything is there. That is a main role. That's a job role. I'm not saying that in PV that is not there. Definitely that's there, but that's the your day in day out work, talking to people, talking to KOs. Now, if you don't like to talk to so much people and associate, I mean, you are associating, but if you don't want to have these continuous conversations or something like that, then the job role for you, and if you are more interested in core medical concepts, and that then the job role is PB for you. Now, if you want to read more, because there are a lot of reading in it, aggregate reports are huge. They are literally 100 pages plus. So if you are interested in reading, uh, then again, PV is for you. Reading is there also, but I'm not talking about the all everything is there in both the jobs. I'm talking about the job role itself, which consists of these activities day in, day out. That is what I'm talking about. So, if you are more interested in, day out reading, concept building, etc., then this is there. If you are more interested in brand, strategy building, again, medically, talking about medical different concepts to different people, meeting different doctors, then that is there. That is one of the roles. So, yeah, what you want basically is no personalities, because I've seen introverts also doing very good there, extroverts doing very good here. So it's not related to any kind of personality. Even type A's are doing very good in PV, type A kind of personality. Type B is also doing very good. Similarly, is there. So it's more about the liking, and it is also about the priority of what you want at that level of your life. It is dependent on your personal life balance also, whether you are willing for traveling, whether you want to stick to a job which is a desk job. So all that also matters. Yeah.
So, there is a question on which online course would be most suited for a PV physician or a medical reviewer role among the different
First,
courses?
thank you, sir, for the question. So first is the UMC, I will say. WHO UMC courses are fantastic. You should take them. And then is the Udemy courses. They are very cost effective and they have lot of knowledge. I don't think hands-on would be much useful for MD Pharmac, but if you still think to upscale, that's open to you. But I think these two things are very good. Also, the JVP modules that you have with respect to the sites, they're very good in understanding the process. ICH, E2E, E2C, and JVP, all the modules are very good in understanding the process, etc. A lot of free material is there. Basically, that's what I'm trying to understand. So for knowledge improvement or knowledge updating, lot of things are there. If you want to update your CV along with your knowledge, these were the routes that I told you. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
So, another question, what do you think is the challenging part in PV which keeps you excited? This is addressed to you specifically. What makes it very exciting? What makes PV very exciting for you?
Challenging to me is that you get to work on different lot of products, first of all, and lot of different kinds of signals. And one thing is that you're impacting patient safety. You are into the process which is directly impacting patient safety. So your accountability is high. Whatever you're working is a pure work of science. So you're close to your craft. As a medic, you're close to your material, concept related data and everything. That is one of the things which I am very keen in pursuing. Another thing is the artificial intelligence in PV. So I tell you, it's so rampant and it helps you to a level which is beautiful and you feel so good. There are certain programs which are in-company programs related to artificial intelligence also, which you can enroll to have. You cannot imagine what it can do and how beautifully it can support you for your work. So that is also one aspect which I really like. Third thing is about PV processes. If anyone is interested in understanding these processes, it's very important and it's very exciting. That is one of the exciting part which I feel about PV.
Okay, another question. As a PV associate under PVPI IPC, the person's name is Swami, was mainly involved in ICSR, Vigiflow and Vigibase, and also other PVPI roles and responsibilities were carried by me. And to shift to MNC into PV, what other skills and knowledge should be learned? Basically, this person was working under PVPI program. Now he wants to shift to the industry. What additional skills, knowledge should be learned?
So if he is interested in the case processing role, again, it's the same role only the software is, there would be different softwares and different processes. So understanding these processes, he must be very keen on all the processes and everything. I am sure about it. So try to understand a little bit on AI. That is number one you can do. Second is if you are interested in medical writing part, so develop yourself accordingly, take courses related to medical writing, see how the look into different JVP modules, see how the reports are written, everything, and try to upskill yourself with respect to medical writing. It's a very good, there are very exciting opportunities in medical writing ahead. So that is
So
one thing.
I just want to ask you, like you spoke about medical writing. So, does the medical writing division of the pharmaceutical companies and CROs, do they have a separate medical writing team which is also looking into PV, or does PV have a subdivision of medical writing within itself? How does it work?
There is a separate medical writing team which we have. So broadly it is under PV only. So PV there are few heads. One head is the ICSR. One head is medical writing. Third head would be PV operations. Fourth head would be regulatory, etc. Quality and compliance. So all these are under one bracket only, but there are different roles for these different
So
domains. So
they are
it's one of the
different from
domain in
the,
PV.
yeah, so they are
Yes, sir.
different from the general medical writer who's doing protocol development.
That is scientific writing. That doesn't come under PV. That is a scientific writing role. Right.
Uh, okay. What is the role of PV in software companies like Cognizant, Wipro?
Okay. For which particular role or generic?
General is a general question. Role of PV in software companies like Cognizant. Basically, I think he
They
wants
are BPOs. They are
what
BPOs. Right,
what
right. So, right, right. So even last presentation I had shared about those roles. So in BPOs, there are case processor roles, which are also called as, this is for MSc and pharma graduates. I'll just share my screen if
yeah.
I'll just share my, this was covered in last presentation of mine. I'll just reshare so that they have a good picture about the role. Okay. Actually, I've hide these slides. I'll just unhide them. Let me know once my screen is visible.
Yeah. So it's visible. You can go.
Mhm. Just hide them. I'll just unhide them quickly. All right. So these are the entry level roles. So they're same in the BPOs like Cognizant, TCS, or uh, Accenture. These are the same. They are drug safety associate or data safety analyst. So you have to triage the case intake is there, data entry into safety database, etc. Then next is the PV case processor role. So different sources are there of ICSR. So you have to process the adverse event with respect to different sources, etc. Then literature search associate roles are there. So these are also there, and there is a different literature team in BPOs. Uh, TCS has different team for clinical, for post-marketing also, ICSs. So all that is there. Then aggregate report. This is a little senior level role. It's not an entry level role. You can shift from these roles to aggregate a report support role. Even I have understood from few of my colleagues that regulatory submission roles are there, and regulatory um, there are a few regulatory roles like regulatory publisher and regulatory submission. So the basic entry level role, from that also you can shift to aggregate report. So that's there. Then again, this quality and sorry, compliance role, it's a little you need to have little idea about how the case processing is and all, and that's the reason why they are little higher or step one level roles.
Okay.
Then yes, so these are the different roles that these are same, not the last one, but these are same in the BPOs. 1, 2, 3, literature and aggregate support. These are more or less same, and quality one also. So what you do is you check what are the other designations for these particular roles. So what is it called as? What is that similar role called in PV, in MNC, in Indian, in BPO, CROs? Because if you have that term, then only you can search relevant or make a search stream relevant to these roles. Yeah, thank you.
So they have different designations and based on the company.
Yes. Based on the company, they will have their own designation for the same job role. For instance, let's say drug safety physician is there. MNC, one of the very good MNC calls it as the medical safety expert. I think many of you must be aware. So it's interchangeable. BPOs call it as medical reviewer roles. So that's how it is. So you need to know the other terminologies. Then there is global safety expert role, which is more or less similar, but more related, sometimes more related to aggregate. Now, see, if a certain post is there with respect to, they are talking that um, these particular role is there with respect to big MNC, and the walk-in interview is there. So that big MNC is not actually MNC, that's a BPO or CRO. Of course, it's a global, but it can be a BPO or it can be a CRO, but they mention it that way. So it's very crucial to ask, don't, so these are work from home opportunity. I just read one, two posts of work from home opportunities, because generally work from home opportunities, the big pharma companies are not giving anymore because of the logistics and other stuff like that. It's only given by the CROs, and even BPOs are not giving it. Some of them might, seniors and other CROs, maybe they are giving it for some roles. So always check if they are writing big MNCs, need not be pharma company. So check that aspect as well. Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
Another question, to what extent is pharmacology knowledge needed for entry level roles? Especially this is in the context of people who are not necessarily having a core pharmacology related uh, bachelor's or master's. So what options do they have in PV?
Thank you for the question. So if you want to pursue a career in PV, and if you're not directly related to PV currently with your graduates or postgraduates, then first you get a certification of PV. Get a good certification course with a good amount, with good hands-on, good placement opportunities. Get that, because that is very crucial then. Otherwise, it's just knowledge building will not help you then in that scenario. So along with knowledge building, get a good certification course, add it to your CV profile, and then you will see you will get similar opportunities, or you can upskill here in PV.
What would be the main difference between working in a non-Indian MNC and an Indian MNC with respect to pharmacovigilance?
Okay. So that also difference last time I had covered with one slide, but overall, um, not much difference, only difference in the products maybe. And in MNCs, the big MNCs, there is a lot of integration which is done with, like I spoke last time, lot of integration with respect to the other cross-functional teams that you have. That is number one. Number two, the difference would be environment, softwares, because every company will have their own softwares and their own upskills, like their own upscalement for the employees, or what they are doing for the employees, like with respect to the skills, with respect to the incentives, etc. That might differ. But the working would be more or less same. It's a general shift, and more or less the products, of course, the products, whichever the company specific products will have to work with. So those will differ, but overall working would not differ. It depends on which domain you are, whether you are into ICSR, whether you are into aggregate, etc.
Finally, I think this will be the last question. So, do you think AI will be a threat to PV job opportunities?
Thank you for this question. See, understand this, that AI is supporting you. AI is not eliminating you. AI is just to support whatever the skill sets you had before. The PV has bulk amount of cases. So with AI, you can ease your work. AI can never eliminate a human because AI has lot of flaws, and it is just not possible without human intervention to submit those reports to the authority, or it's not a foolproof system. It will require that human touch always. So it is aiding you or helping you. Why AI? Why you need to learn? Because that's a future. That's a future in PV. That's future in other industries. Industries are opting their own softwares. As I told you last time, there is own GPTs that industries are opting. So you need to have the hands-on. You need to understand this, how it's working. Whichever new skill is coming and which is required for the industry standard, it is mandate for you to understand that skill set. So it's like that, and it will definitely help you in time consuming activities. So you can use it as a support for you rather than eliminate. I don't think it will eliminate anyone or any job. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vidisha, for patiently answering all our questions. Once again, we would like to thank you for giving your valuable time, the last two webinars, for sharing your vast experience as well as helping all of the delegates understanding how the industry operates when it comes to pharmacovigilance. And for those of you who could not attend session one, and I think many of you want to hear that, so we have good news for you. We will be uploading both this earlier session as well as today's session in the Clinical Pharmacology. There's a YouTube channel for it, and we will give you an update regarding this in the LinkedIn page of SRM Centre for Clinical Pharmacology. So we'll keep you posted. So you can see last week's session as well as today's session. Because I'm sure these are very valuable information. You don't get easily in one place. So make use of the videos. Yes, Dr. Vidisha.
Thank you, sir. So also I have few quick links at the end of my PPT. And last time there were certain questions on RMPs and developmental reports and aggregate reports, all that I have. So please, I would request you to read them. And if you don't understand anything, I have also provided link to my email address I have provided. You can reach out to me for any understanding or how our concept related understanding or practices related understanding, anything, you can contact to me. And also what I'll do is I'll share two WhatsApp chat links with respect to the PV group updates. I'm not the admin of that chat, but I felt that they are really useful and authentic. Again, a disclaimer, if anyone is asking any monetary exchange is going on, that's a scam, so avoid that. But there are a lot of genuine job ads which are there in those WhatsApp groups. So I'll be posting the links in the chat box if you allow me 2-3 minutes.
Yes, please.
Both are authentic. I'll just post them. Yes, these are two links, and this will definitely be helpful. And I wish everyone all the very best and everyone to upscale in whatever career path they choose. My best wishes for them, and I would definitely like to meet each one of you in any upcoming forum face to face. Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Vidisha, we look forward to hearing you also again in future programs, maybe face-to-face programs too. Until then, wish you also all the best. And to all the students here who are beginning your career and who are looking particularly to excel in pharmacovigilance, it's our best wish that you excel well in PV space too. Thank you all. See you for the next webinar, which we will inform through the Clinical Pharmacology LinkedIn page. Thank you.
Thank you.